Hey guys, so today we'll take a look at the new armor sets from the upcoming raid in patch 8.2 called Azshara's Eternal Palace. So first, let's start off with the plate set. So as you probably noticed, the only difference between the three difficulties are the colors, and to be completely honest with you guys, I'm not very impressed with this set. First of all, it doesn't look like a raid set, it looks like something you would get from a dungeon or perhaps from a quest reward. And second of all, I expected a lot more because they went from 12 sets down to 4, so you would think that the quality would go up and not down. Lastly, this doesn't look like anything that originates from Nazjatar, which is the whole point of these sets. The whole idea was to make the sets themed around the raid, but honestly, I don't see it. To me, it just looks plain and dull. Now, if we move on to the Mythic set, the design actually gets a lot better. In fact, it gets so much better that it makes me wonder if they designed the Mythic versions first. Now, let me explain what I mean, guys. Now, the reason why I think that they might be making the Mythic versions first is that the non-Mythic sets look like a stripped down version of the Mythic sets. Because if you look at the non-Mythic sets, they are missing all of the cool attachments, such as the fins on the shoulders, the glowing effects, and the spikes on the gloves. All of these changes makes the non-Mythic set look boring and dull. We know that Blizzard knows how to make great looking sets because we've seen it in the past, but if this is their design philosophy Battle for Azeroth, it explains why some of the non-Mythic sets look so boring and dull. But yeah, the Mythic set actually looks pretty good, and I'm not saying that the non-Mythic set should look as good, but this is just bad, because it doesn't even look like a raid set. But anyways guys, let's get back to the Mythic set. So, the headpiece is pretty good. I like how the eyes are glowing yellow, and I think that the top of the helm might be inspired by Queen Azshara with the 3 spikes. What do you guys think? Now moving down to the shoulders, they look pretty good with the added fins, and there is no doubt that it originates from Nazjatar. So all in all, if I had to rate this set, I would probably end up giving it a solid 6 out of 10 because it actually looks like a raid set. Now let's move on to the male set. So straight away see some of the same issues as we just saw with the plate set. The problem with the non-mythic sets is that they're a bit too flat, and yeah, I mean sometimes minimalistic sets can be pretty good, but sadly that's not the case with this one. Some of the pieces such as the belt, head and shoulders are good enough, and you guys can probably make a lot of cool transmogs with it. But if we move on to the mythic version, it gets a lot better, and this is something you would expect to see from a raid set. So let's start at the top and look at the headpiece. They used a bright red-orangey color similar to what we see on Azshara, and on top of that they placed a gem right in the middle of the helm, and this might have been inspired by her middle eye. And let's not forget the 3 spikes on top of the helm, which again looks pretty similar to her head. So if you ask me, I'm pretty sure that they used her as inspiration for this set, but let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Next we have the glowing shoulders, which I personally like. I think they did a decent job on the design, and I especially like the back of the shoulders. I don't know if you guys can tell, but they have some sort of floating animation which gives it a really nice touch. And the overall design makes them look like something that would actually be forged in Nazjatar, so thumbs up for that. Now let's move further down and look at the gloves. First thing you will notice is probably the big gem, the same one they have used throughout the whole set. Now I don't know if you guys agree, but I think they managed to pull it off even though they used a lot of gems in this set. And if we take a look at the center of the robe, you will see that they used the same gem for the belt as well. Now the belt is fine, but one of the things that I dislike about it is that it seems like to have a clipping issue, which is unfortunate since we have seen it so many times in World of Warcraft, and I can't believe that they still haven't fixed it. So if I had to rate this set, I would probably give it a 7 out of 10, so 1 point higher than the plate set, because I feel like this one is a bit better at implementing the Nazjatar theme. But let me know in the comments below if you guys agree or disagree. Now that we have previewed the plate and mail sets, let's take a look at the leather set. So if you're playing as a demon hunter, druid, monk or a rogue, these are the sets you're gonna get in patch 8.2. Now compared to the other 2 sets that we just previewed, this non-mythic set is actually not that bad. I mean, this is a good example of how much better it would be if they didn't remove too many of the attachments on the non-mythic sets. Because even though you might not be excited about it, it still looks like a raid set, and most importantly it looks like something that would actually drop in Nazjatar. So now let's see what the mythic set looks like. First of all, I gotta ask you, do you like colors? Because this sure has a really bright orange color. So if you're a rogue and want to stay in stealth, I'm not sure if this is gonna work out for you, because everybody will be able to see you from miles away. But anyways, I'm just kidding guys. The colors are actually pretty good. First thing that comes to my mind when I look at the headpiece is that this gotta be a rogue set, especially because of the face cover, which is a pretty common thing with rogues. Now, I'm not sure if they went a bit overboard with the fins on the head, and personally I kinda think it looks like a mohawk, but at least there is no doubt that this was made in Nazjatar, which is a good thing. Now if we take a look at the rest of the set, we see the same theme go on with the orange fin on the shoulders, boots, belt and gloves, and to be honest, I'm not sure if I like the gloves. The pointy fins might be exaggerated to the point where it feels a bit ridiculous, and I would have much rather preferred a simpler version. Now if we take a look at the belt, it's a good example of a well-balanced piece. I like how they managed to keep just the right amount of details and the orange color without taking it too far. On top of that, you will also see that they added a blue gem just above the belt, which gives it a nice detail, and it kinda has the vibe of the ocean, which I like. All in all, the piece might be one of my favorite things of this set, and I'm sure that a lot of you will be able to make some awesome looking transmogs with it. So if I had to give this mythic set a rating, I would probably give it a 7 out of 10, similar to what I gave the mail set. That being said, I still hope that we'll get the tier sets back, because the quality doesn't live up to what I expected from Blizzard. I mean, sure, it does fit the Nazjatar theme, but I feel like the quality went down from the past expansions, which shouldn't be the case, as they went down from 12 to 4 sets. So now that we have previewed almost all of the sets, let's check out the last one. The non-mythic variation of this set gotta be the best one I've seen so far because it actually looks like a raid set. And yes, I know, I've been saying that quite a lot of times throughout this video, but this is the first non-mythic set that actually looks good. I mean, the attention to detail in this set is amazing. If you look closely, you will see that they added a fish texture on the robe, and it makes it look like something that would drop in Nazjatar, and somehow they even managed to implement the theme of the different structures from the zone. Additionally, I think that the colors they have chosen for the sets look really good, especially the way the gemstones pop out. I mean, to be honest with you guys, the colors are probably a big part of what makes these sets look so good, and I just wish they would have made the same effort with the other non-mythic sets. And as I mentioned before, the other sets would probably have ended up looking way better if they just had kept some of the cool details. And speaking of cool details, let's take a look at the mythic set. Now this is what I'm talking about. The colors look old Gothish, probably inspired by Nazjatar, and the fiery red color makes this set look even better. And again, similar to what I said about the leather set, I think that the headpiece was also inspired by Queen Azshara. I mean, I even see some similarities with the colors. Moving on to the shoulders, we see the same gem as we just saw on the headpiece, and the fiery animation on the front and on the back of the shoulders complement the rest of the set very well. The shape of the shoulders kinda reminds me of one of the pre-shoulders that we have seen in the past. I can't recall the exact one, but perhaps one of you guys knows which one I'm talking about. Moving down to the belt and the gloves, you will see the same gemstones on the gloves and the fiery color on both pieces. I don't know if it's just me, but it almost has a dragon-like vibe, probably because of the colors. And even though I've said it so many times, I gotta say it again. The shape of the belt and the gloves reminds me of Queen Azshara's head. I wonder if I'm completely overthinking this, or if that's what Blizzard really went for. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Anyways, nonetheless, I gotta say that this set looks good. Oh, and lastly, let's not forget about the robe. They chose some really good colors for it, and I really like how the top of the robe kinda looks like a neck piece, which I think is a really cool little detail. So all in all, this is by far my favorite set, and I can see how to some it might seem like there's a lot going on with this set, but personally I like it, and I don't think that it's too much, and I would even dare to say that this is the best raid set in Battle for Azshara that I've seen so far. And if I had to give this set a rating, I would probably end up giving it a 9 out of 10. I mean, it has the right amount of details and it looks like a raid set that I would actually use. So that's it for this preview, guys. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about these sets, and if you agree or disagree with some of my opinions, I would love to hear them. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel as well if you want to keep up with the latest news about patch 8.2. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video as well.